the unassuming genius. In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, nestled among the twinkling stars and swirling nebulae, stood the prestigious Galactic Institute of Advanced Sciences. Known across multiple star systems as the pinnacle of intellectual achievement, the institute was a beacon of knowledge, drawing the brightest minds from every corner of the galaxy. Amidst the grand halls and state-of-the-art laboratories, a solitary figure moved quietly, almost unnoticed. Jack Harper, a human from Earth, pushed his cleaning cart down the gleaming corridors, his weathered hands gripping the handle with practiced ease. At first glance, Jack appeared unremarkable, a middle-aged man with graying hair and tired eyes, wearing the standard-issue gray coveralls of the Institute's maintenance staff. But appearances, as they say, can be deceiving. As Jack made his rounds, his keen eyes took in every detail of his surroundings. The complex equations scrawled on transparent boards, the intricate designs of experimental devices, the heated debates between professors and students, nothing escaped his notice. While his hands worked mechanically, scrubbing floors and emptying waste bins, his mind was alive with calculations and theories far beyond the comprehension of even the Institute's most brilliant scholars. Jack harbored a secret that would shock the galaxy if revealed. His IQ was over 500, a number so staggering it defied conventional measurement. Yet, he had chosen a life of anonymity, finding solace in the simplicity of his janitorial duties and the freedom to ponder the mysteries of the universe without the burden of expectation or the glare of publicity. As he cleaned the observation deck, Jack paused for a moment to gaze out at the stars. The view never failed to inspire him, reminding him of the vastness of existence and the endless possibilities that lay hidden in the cosmic tapestry. He allowed his mind to wander, contemplating the nature of dark matter and the intricacies of quantum entanglement. Lost in thought, Jack almost didn't notice the approaching footsteps. He quickly resumed his cleaning, keeping his head down as a group of institute professors walked by, engrossed in a heated discussion. The unified field equation continues to elude us, one of them, a tall Arcturian with iridescent skin, said with frustration. We've been working on it for decades, and we're no closer to a solution. Perhaps it's unsolvable, another professor, a rotund Betelgeusian, suggested. Maybe we're chasing an impossible dream. As their voices faded down the corridor, Jack couldn't help but smile to himself. The unified field equation, the holy grail of physics that would unite all fundamental forces and explain the very fabric of reality. He had solved it years ago, during a particularly slow night shift, but that was a secret he kept locked away in the recesses of his mind, along with solutions to countless other unsolvable problems. Jack's day continued as usual, filled with the mundane tasks of cleaning and maintaining the Institute's facilities. He exchanged polite nods with other members of the maintenance staff, shared a joke with the cafeteria workers during his lunch break, and generally blended into the background of the bustling academic world. As evening approached and the Institute's population thinned, Jack found himself cleaning one of the smaller lecture halls. The room was empty save for a single student, a young proxyman named Zara, hunched over a datapad, her bioluminescent antennae drooping with exhaustion. "Excuse me," Jack said softly, not wanting to startle her. "I need to clean this area. Will you be much longer?" Zara looked up, her large, multifaceted eyes blinking rapidly. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said, her translator converting her clicks and whistles into standard Galactic common. "I didn't realize how late it was. I've been stuck on this problem for hours." Jack's curiosity was piqued. "What kind of problem?" he asked, keeping his tone casual. Zara sighed, her antennae fluttering with frustration. "It's a quantum mechanics problem. We're studying the behavior of particles in extreme gravitational fields, but I can't seem to get the equations to balance." "Mind if I take a look?" Jack asked, setting aside his mop. "I used to dabble in physics back in the day." Zara hesitated for a moment, then shrugged. "Sure, why not? I could use a fresh perspective, even if it's from a..." She trailed off, realizing how her words might sound. A janitor, Jack finished with a smile. Don't worry, I'm not offended. We all have our roles to play. He leaned over to examine the datapad, his eyes quickly scanning the complex series of equations and diagrams. In a matter of seconds, he had not only understood the problem, but had also identified the error in Zara's calculations. Have you considered applying the Hawking-Zhang principle to account for quantum fluctuations near the event horizon? Jack suggested, pointing to a specific part of the equation. Zara's antennae shot up in surprise. The Hawking-Zhang principle. But that's an advanced concept. How did you? She quickly inputted the suggestion, and her eyes widened as the equations suddenly aligned perfectly. It worked. But how did you know that? Jack shrugged, already moving back to his cleaning cart. Like I said, I used to dabble. Sometimes an outsider's perspective can be helpful. As he resumed his cleaning, leaving a stunned Zara to ponder this encounter, Jack couldn't help but feel a small thrill. It had been a while since he'd allowed himself to engage with the kind of problems that truly challenged his intellect. Perhaps it was time to stretch those mental muscles a bit more. Little did Jack know that this small interaction would set in motion a chain of events that would not only change his life, but potentially alter the course of galactic history. The next day, whispers began to circulate through the institute. Students and professors alike were abuzz with talk of the mysterious janitor who had effortlessly solved a complex quantum mechanics problem. Some dismissed it as a lucky guess, while others speculated about hidden talents among the support staff. Jack, for his part, tried to maintain his usual routine, but he could feel the weight of curious glances following him as he went about his duties. He had grown complacent over the years, allowing himself small indulgences in intellectual discourse, but never anything that might draw significant attention. Now he feared he may have overstepped. As he was cleaning the main atrium, a shadow fell across his path. Looking up, Jack found himself face to face with Professor Lyra Vex, the Institute's renowned expert in theoretical physics. Her piercing gaze seemed to look right through him, as if trying to unravel the mystery he presented. "Mr. Harper, isn't it?" she said, her voice carrying the crisp accent of her homeworld, Centauri Prime. "I wonder if I might have a word with you." Jack straightened up, his heart racing, but his exterior remaining calm. "Of course, Professor Vex. How can I help you?" Lyra glanced around to ensure they weren't overheard. "I've heard some interesting rumors about you, Mr. Harper. A student claims you solved a graduate-level quantum mechanics problem with ease. I find myself intrigued." Jack forced a chuckle. "Oh, that. I'm sure it was just a lucky guess. I've picked up a bit here and there, working around all you brilliant folks." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. "Indeed. Well, Mr. Harper, I have a proposition for you. My research team is currently working on a rather challenging problem. I'd be very interested to hear your perspective on it. Would you be willing to take a look?" Jack hesitated. This was dangerous territory. If he refused, it might seem suspicious. But if he agreed and revealed too much of his knowledge, his carefully constructed life of anonymity could crumble. After a moment's consideration, he nodded. "I'd be happy to take a look, Professor, though I can't promise I'll be of much help." "Excellent," Lyra said with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Meet me in Laboratory 7 after your shift ends. And Mr. Harper, let's keep this between us for now." As Lyra walked away, Jack felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. For years, he had suppressed his true intellectual capabilities, finding contentment in the simplicity of his life. But now, standing on the precipice of change, he couldn't deny the thrill of engaging with minds that might challenge him. The rest of his shift passed in a blur of anticipation. As the institute quieted and the day shift workers departed, Jack made his way to Laboratory 7. The sleek, high-tech facility was a far cry from the utility closets and maintenance areas he usually frequented. Inside, he found Professor Vex waiting, along with two of her research assistants, a young human woman named Dr. Sarah Chen and a Rigelian named Dr. Zax, whose crystalline body structure sparkled under the lab's bright lights. Ah, Mr. Harper, Lyra said, gesturing him over to a large holographic display. Thank you for joining us. I hope you don't mind, but I've asked Dr. Chen and Dr. Zaks to sit in. They've been working on this problem with me for months. Jack nodded, trying to appear casual as he approached the display. No problem at all, though I'm not sure how much help I'll be. Lyra activated the hologram, and a complex series of equations and diagrams sprang to life in the air before them. This, Mr. Harper, is our current work on the unified field equation. We believe we're close to a breakthrough, but there's something we're missing. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Jack's heart skipped a beat. The unified field equation, the very problem he had solved years ago in the quiet of night. He stared at the hologram, his mind racing. How much should he reveal? Could he offer a hint without giving away the full solution? As he studied the equations, he could see where the team had gone astray. A small error in their initial assumptions had cascaded through their calculations, leading them down a path that would never yield the correct result. Taking a deep breath, Jack pointed to a section of the equation. Have you considered the possibility that your initial assumption about the nature of dark energy might be flawed? If you adjust this variable here, he traced a line with his finger, and reconsider the relationship between quantum fluctuations and spacetime curvature, you might find a more promising avenue. The room fell silent. Lyra, Sarah, and Zach stared at Jack with a mixture of shock and disbelief. It was Sarah who finally broke the silence. That's brilliant, she whispered. How did we not see that before? Zach's crystalline form vibrated with excitement. If this holds true, it could revolutionize our entire understanding of the universe. Lyra's gaze, however, remained fixed on Jack. Her expression was unreadable, but there was a new intensity in her eyes. Mr. Harper, she said slowly, I think it's time you told us who you really are. Jack looked at each of them in turn, realizing that the moment he had both dreaded and secretly longed for had finally arrived. His life was about to change irrevocably, and the galaxy along with it. With a small smile, he said, Well, Professor Vex, that's quite a long story, but I suppose we have time for it now, don't we? As Jack prepared to reveal his true nature, the seeds of a grand adventure were sown, one that would challenge the boundaries of science, reshape the balance of power in the galaxy, and prove that humanity's greatest strength lay not in technology or physical might, but in the boundless potential of the human mind. The equation that stumped the galaxy. The revelation of Jack Harper's true intellect sent shockwaves through the Galactic Institute of Advanced Sciences. News spread like wildfire across the neural networks and quantum communications channels that connected the far-flung corners of the galaxy. Human janitor with 500-plus IQ cracks unsolvable equation. The headlines screamed across holoscreens and infospheres. In the days that followed, Jack found himself thrust into a spotlight he had spent decades avoiding. The simple life he had carefully cultivated was gone, replaced by a whirlwind of interviews, conferences, and demands for his insight on everything from particle physics to the nature of consciousness itself. Professor Lyra Vex, recognizing the monumental importance of Jack's contributions, had quickly assembled a team of the galaxy's brightest minds to work alongside him. Their mission: to fully develop and prove the unified field equation that Jack had outlined. As they worked, whispers of an Earth advantage began to circulate. How had a planet of relative galactic backwater produced a mind capable of such extraordinary feats? Was there something special about Earth, or about humans in general, that the rest of the galaxy had overlooked? 1 month into their work, the team hit a major breakthrough. Jack stood before a massive quantum hologram, his fingers dancing through the air as he manipulated complex mathematical structures with the ease of a maestro conducting a symphony. You see, he explained to the assembled team of awestruck scientists, the key lies in understanding the fundamental interconnectedness of all things. The universe isn't just a collection of separate forces and particles, it's a unified whole, with each part influencing and being influenced by every other part. Dr. Sarah Chen, her eyes wide with wonder, interjected, "But that would mean everything we thought we knew about the structure of reality is wrong." Jack nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Not wrong, exactly, just incomplete. We've been looking at the puzzle pieces without seeing the full picture." As Jack continued to explain, unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos with breathtaking clarity, the implications of his work began to dawn on the assembled scientists. This wasn't just a new theory, it was a paradigm shift that would rewrite the very foundations of physics. But not everyone was thrilled with these developments. In the shadowy corridors of power that ran through the galactic community, whispers of concern began to circulate. If the humans possessed such untapped potential, what might that mean for the balance of power in the galaxy? Meanwhile, light years away on Earth, the Global Science Council was in an uproar. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's leading expert in xenophysics, paced back and forth in front of a panel of her peers. "Don't you see what this means?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "Jack Harper's work doesn't just change our understanding of the universe, it changes our place in it. We're no longer the galactic newcomers, fumbling to catch up. We might be sitting on a goldmine of untapped human potential." The implications were staggering. If humans like Jack existed, with intellects far beyond what was thought possible, it could reshape the entire galactic order. Earth, long seen as a backwater world of little consequence, might suddenly find itself at the center of a new age of discovery and innovation. Back at the Galactic Institute, Jack and his team were oblivious to the political storm brewing around them. They were lost in the pure joy of discovery, pushing the boundaries of knowledge further than anyone had dreamed possible. One day, as Jack was explaining a particularly complex aspect of his theory to Dr. Zax, the Rigelian's crystalline form suddenly vibrated with intense excitement. "By the cosmic core," Zax exclaimed, his translator struggling to convey the depth of his emotion. "If this is correct, it could lead to faster-than-light travel," Jack finished for him, nodding solemnly. "Yes, I believe it could." The room fell silent as the weight of this revelation settled over them. Faster-than-light travel had long been the holy grail of galactic civilization. It would revolutionize everything from trade to exploration to the very nature of galactic society itself. Professor Vex, who had been quietly observing from the corner, stepped forward. "Jack," she said, her voice uncharacteristically hesitant, "do you realize what this means? The power this knowledge represents." Jack met her gaze steadily. "I do, Professor, and that's why we need to be very careful about how we proceed." But even as Jack spoke those words, events were already in motion that would test his caution to its limits. Unbeknownst to the team, their communications had been compromised. A shadowy organization known as the Galactic Equilibrium, dedicated to maintaining the status quo of power in the galaxy, had been monitoring their progress with growing alarm. As night fell on the Institute, a sleek, stealth-equipped ship slipped into orbit around the planet. Its mission, to ensure that the disruptive potential of Jack's discoveries never saw the light of day. Inside the lab, alarms suddenly blared to life. Red emergency lights bathed the room in an eerie glow as a computerized voice announced, "Security breach detected. Unknown vessels approaching. All personnel evacuate immediately." Chaos erupted as scientists scrambled to secure their data and equipment. But Jack remained calm, his mind already racing through possible scenarios and solutions. "Professor Vex," he said, his voice cutting through the panic, "we need to secure the core data of our research. Everything else is expendable." Laura nodded, quickly tapping commands into her neural interface. "Already on it. But Jack, what about you? You're the key to all of this. We need to get you to safety." Jack shook his head, a determined glint in his eye. "No, Professor. I won't run and hide. Not anymore. It's time I faced the consequences of my knowledge." As the sounds of battle began to echo through the Institute's halls, Jack Harper stood tall, ready to confront whatever forces sought to suppress the truth he had uncovered. The janitor with the 500-plus IQ was about to show the galaxy that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't firepower or technology, but the indomitable spirit of human ingenuity and courage. Little did Jack know that his stand would ignite a spark that would soon blaze into a galactic revolution, challenging the very foundations of power and knowledge across the stars. The age of human ascendancy was about to begin, and at its heart stood a humble janitor who had unlocked the secrets of the universe. Revelations and repercussions. As chaos engulfed the Galactic Institute, Jack Harper stood at the eye of the storm, his mind racing faster than the approaching danger. The air crackled with tension and the acrid smell of ozone from damaged circuitry. Quantum uprising. Human genius challenges galactic order. The phrase flashed across emergency broadcasts, capturing the essence of the unfolding drama. Jack's eyes darted around the lab, taking in every detail. In seconds, he had formulated a plan that would make even the most advanced AI pause in admiration. "Dr. Chen, Dr. Zax," he called out, his voice cutting through the pandemonium. "I need you to initiate Protocol Omega on the quantum mainframe. Professor Vex, prepare for a data burst transmission to Earth's Global Science Council." As his colleagues scrambled to comply, Jack turned to face the sealed doors of the lab. He could hear the heavy footsteps of the approaching intruders, likely mercenaries hired by the Galactic Equilibrium. "Time for some homegrown human ingenuity," Jack muttered, a sleek grin spreading across his face. With lightning speed, he began to dismantle and reconfigure various pieces of lab equipment. His hands moved with surgical precision, weaving together a tapestry of wires, crystals, and exotic materials. "Jack, what are you doing?" Professor Vex asked, her voice tinged with both awe and concern. "Creating a localized quantum field disruptor," Jack replied without looking up from his work. "It should buy us some time." As the doors began to glow red from the attacker's cutting tools, Jack put the finishing touches on his makeshift device. It hummed to life, emitting a soft blue glow. "Everyone, brace yourselves," he warned. The moment the doors burst open, Jack activated his creation. A wave of shimmering energy pulsed outward, enveloping the incoming mercenaries. Their weapons sputtered and died, their communication devices went silent, and even their neural implants flickered offline. "Impossible," one of the mercenaries gasped, staring at his useless equipment. Jack stepped forward, his eyes blazing with determination. "Gentlemen, I believe we need to have a chat about the future of galactic knowledge." What followed was a battle not of weapons, but of words and ideas. Jack, drawing upon his vast intellect and newfound confidence, began to explain the implications of his discoveries. He spoke of a future where energy was limitless, where distance was no obstacle, and where the mysteries of the universe lay open for all to explore. As he spoke, something remarkable happened. The mercenaries, trained to follow orders without question, found themselves captivated. Jack's words painted a picture of a galaxy transformed, where cooperation replaced conflict, and where the pursuit of knowledge trumped the hoarding of power. Human wisdom defeats galactic mercenaries. The news spread across the cosmos at superluminal speeds, carried by tachyon transmissions and quantum entanglement networks. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Global Science Council received the data burst from the Galactic Institute. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's eyes widened as she pored over the information. This changes everything," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. "We're not just looking at a new scientific theory. This is the key to unlocking human potential on a scale we've never imagined." As the implications of Jack's work spread, a movement began to take shape. Across the galaxy, beings of all species who had long chafed under the rigid control of the galactic equilibrium saw an opportunity for change. The human factor, redefining galactic intelligence. The phrase became a rallying cry for those who believed in a future of open knowledge and cooperation. Back at the Institute, Jack and his team worked tirelessly to refine and expand upon his theories. The lab became a beacon of innovation, drawing brilliant minds from across the cosmos who were eager to be part of this intellectual revolution. One day, as Jack stood before a holographic display of the known universe, he noticed something odd. A pattern in the cosmic background radiation that had always been dismissed as random noise suddenly took on new significance in light of his unified field theory. "Professor Vex," he called out, excitement building in his voice, "I think we've stumbled upon something big. Really big." As Lyra hurried over, Jack's fingers danced through the air, manipulating the hologram. The image zoomed out, revealing a structure so vast it defied comprehension. "It can't be," Lyra gasped, her normally composed demeanor shaken. "But it is," Jack replied, his voice filled with wonder. "We're looking at the architecture of the multiverse itself." The discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Jack Harper, the human janitor with an impossible IQ, hadn't just unified the forces of a single universe, he had provided a framework for understanding the very fabric of reality across multiple dimensions. Multiverse unveiled, human insight rewrites cosmic history. The news exploded across every form of media, from traditional broadcasts to direct neural feeds. As Jack stood at the center of this maelstrom of discovery and change, he couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought him here. From a secret genius hiding in plain sight to the catalyst for a galactic revolution, his path had been anything but ordinary. But even as he basked in the glow of his achievements, a new challenge loomed on the horizon. The galactic equilibrium, though shaken, was far from defeated. And now, with the nature of the multiverse revealed, the stakes had risen to heights beyond imagination. In the depths of space, on a hidden base shielded from prying eyes, the leaders of the galactic equilibrium gathered. Their faces were grim, their voices hushed as they discussed the threat posed by Jack Harper and his discoveries. "This human," one of them hissed, "has upset the balance we've maintained for eons. He must be stopped." Another, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, pulsed with agreement. But how? His ideas have already spread too far. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward. Cloaked in robes that seemed to absorb light, the being's features were impossible to discern. When it spoke, its voice sent chills through even these hardened leaders. "There is a way," it said, "but it will require us to breach the barriers between universes. The human has shown us the door. Now we must decide if we're willing to open it." As the galactic equilibrium plotted, unaware that their every move was being anticipated by Jack's incredible intellect, the stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate not just of one universe, but of all possible realities. The janitor who had unlocked the secrets of the cosmos was about to face his greatest challenge yet, and the entire multiverse held its breath, waiting to see what would unfold. Cosmic chess. Human genius versus multiversal conspiracy. The headline flashed across the galaxy, a prelude to the mind-bending adventures that lay ahead for Jack Harper and his allies. A race against time. Multiversal mayhem. Earth's janitor genius battles cosmic conspiracy. The headline pulsed across holographic displays throughout the galaxy, capturing the imagination of trillions. Jack Harper, once an unassuming cleaner, now stood at the center of a conflict that threatened the very fabric of reality itself. As Jack and his team worked tirelessly in their fortified lab at the Galactic Institute, they were unaware of the forces aligning against them. The galactic equilibrium, desperate to maintain their grip on power, had made a fateful decision. They would harness the power of the multiverse, no matter the cost. Quantum entanglement detected. Parallel universes collide. The alert blared through the Institute's advanced warning systems, causing Jack to look up from his work with a frown. "They've done it," he muttered, his mind already racing through the implications. "They've opened a bridge between universes." Professor Lyra Vex rushed to his side, her face pale with concern. "Jack, if they're manipulating multiversal energies without fully understanding the consequences, they could trigger a cascade failure that would collapse all of reality," Jack finished, his voice grim. "We need to act fast." What followed was a montage of frenzied activity that would have made even the most advanced AI processors overheat. Jack, drawing upon the full power of his 500-plus IQ, began to design a device that could not only detect multiversal breaches but seal them. "Behold the cosmic patcher 9000, Dr. Zax exclaimed, his crystalline form vibrating with excitement as they unveiled the finished product. The device was a marvel of engineering, a fusion of cutting-edge technology and theoretical physics made real through Jack's unparalleled intellect. It hummed with barely contained energy, ready to repair the damage done to the cosmic fabric. But even as they prepared to deploy their creation, a new threat emerged. Interdimensional invaders approach Earth, humanity's last stand. The news hit like a supernova. The galactic equilibrium, in their desperation, had not just opened a door to another universe. They had inadvertently invited an invasion. Jack Harper, from janitor to Earth's last hope. The phrase echoed across social media platforms and neural networks, encapsulating the drama of the moment. As governments across Earth scrambled to mount a defense, Jack knew that conventional weapons would be useless against this otherworldly threat. The solution lay not in firepower, but in the power of the human mind. "We need to think outside the box," Jack announced to his team. "No, scratch that. We need to think outside this entire universe." What followed was a brainstorming session unlike any other in human history. Ideas flowed like cosmic radiation, each more brilliant and outlandish than the last. The air crackled with the energy of pure intellectual creativity. Eureka moment, human creativity unleashed. The headline flashed as news of their efforts spread. Jack's plan was audacious. Using the principles of quantum entanglement and his groundbreaking unified field theory, he proposed to create a network of human minds linked across the globe and beyond. This collective consciousness grid would harness the latent psychic potential that he theorized existed in every human being. Human hive mind versus alien armada, the ultimate showdown. As the interdimensional invaders approached, humanity united in a way never before seen. Billions of people, guided by Jack's genius, joined their minds in a singular purpose. The power of human imagination, multiplied across countless individuals, became a force that could reshape reality itself. The battle that ensued was unlike anything ever witnessed in the history of the cosmos. It was not fought with weapons or ships, but with pure thought and will. The invaders, for all their advanced technology, found themselves outmatched by the sheer creative power of the human collective. Mind over matter, humanity's psychic revolution repels cosmic threat. As the last of the invaders retreated, pushed back through the multiversal rifts by the combined mental force of humanity, a new era dawned. The galactic equilibrium, their plans in shambles, could only watch in awe as Earth took its place as a major player on the cosmic stage. But even as celebration erupted across the planet and beyond, Jack Harper knew their work was far from over. The barriers between universes remained fragile, and the knowledge they had gained came with great responsibility. With great power comes multiversal responsibility, Earth's new role as cosmic guardian. As Jack stood before the United Galactic Council, no longer a simple janitor, but a respected scientist and hero, he couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought him here. From hiding his intellect to saving all of reality, it had been quite a ride. "The human potential is limitless," Jack addressed the assembled representatives of countless worlds. "We've only just begun to scratch the surface of what we can achieve when we work together." As he spoke, laying out his vision for a new era of galactic cooperation and scientific advancement, a sense of hope and excitement filled the chamber. The future, once clouded by the machinations of the galactic equilibrium, now shone bright with possibility. But even as Jack basked in the glow of victory, a nagging thought tugged at the edges of his superintelligent mind. What other secrets lay hidden in the vast expanse of the multiverse? And what new challenges awaited humanity as they took their first steps into this broader cosmic arena? The answer, he knew, lay in the endless potential of the human spirit, a force more powerful than any equation, any technology, or any threat from beyond the stars. The cosmic saga continues. What's next for Earth's genius janitor? As the headline flashed across the galaxy, Jack Harper smiled. Whatever came next, he was ready. After all, he had the greatest tool in the universe at his disposal, the human mind. The future unwritten. Quantum leap. Earth's janitor turned savior ushers in cosmic renaissance. The headline blazed across every conceivable medium in the known universe, from primitive radio waves to advanced psychic broadcasts. Jack Harper, once an unassuming custodian, now stood at the forefront of a galactic revolution that promised to redefine the very nature of existence. As Jack gazed out at the swirling cosmic tapestry from the newly christened Multiversal Observation Deck aboard the International Space Station, he couldn't help but marvel at the journey that had brought him here. The weight of his responsibilities pressed upon him, a constant reminder of the delicate balance he now helped maintain. Cosmic Custodian 2.0, Jack Harper's plan to clean up the multiverse. The catchy phrase spread like wildfire through the galactic meme sphere, capturing the public's imagination. But for Jack, the work ahead was far from a joke. The revelation of the multiverse had opened up possibilities beyond imagination, but it had also exposed vulnerabilities in the cosmic fabric that threatened all of existence. We're not just exploring new frontiers, Jack explained to his team, which had expanded to include brilliant minds from across the galaxy. We're the guardians of reality itself. Dr. Sarah Chen, her eyes gleaming with excitement, chimed in. It's like we've upgraded from janitors of a building to custodians of the cosmos. Jack nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Exactly. And our first order of business is to establish the Multiversal Maintenance Protocol. MMP, Earth's groundbreaking initiative to preserve cosmic harmony. The announcement of the Multiversal Maintenance Protocol sent shockwaves through scientific and political circles alike. It was a bold plan that combined cutting-edge physics with principles of environmental conservation, applied on a scale that spanned multiple realities. But not everyone was thrilled with Earth's newfound prominence in galactic affairs. The remnants of the galactic equilibrium, though diminished, still lurked in the shadows, plotting their revenge. Shadow War, cosmic conspirators versus Earth's genius guardian. As Jack and his team worked tirelessly to implement the MMP, they faced constant opposition from those who feared change or sought to exploit the multiverse for their own gain. Sabotage attempts, disinformation campaigns, and even interdimensional assassins became part of their daily challenges. But Jack Harper was no longer the man who hid his intellect from the world. He had embraced his role as humanity's champion, and his 500-plus IQ was more than up to the task of outmaneuvering his opponents. 5D chess. Jack Harper's multiversal strategies baffle cosmic opponents. One particularly tense moment came when a rogue faction attempted to destabilize a nexus point between realities, threatening to unravel the fabric of multiple universes. Jack, drawing upon his vast knowledge and intuitive grasp of multiversal dynamics, devised a solution that not only thwarted the attack but strengthened the cosmic weave. Reality Reboot. Harper's ingenious fix saves countless universes. As news of the averted crisis spread, Jack's reputation grew to nearly mythic proportions. But with great fame came great scrutiny, and not everyone was comfortable with the idea of a single human wielding so much influence over the fate of the cosmos. Power check. Galactic Council debates Harper's role in cosmic affairs. The debate raged across star systems, with some hailing Jack as a savior and others warning of the dangers of consolidating too much power in one being's hands. Jack, for his part, understood the concerns. His journey from hidden genius to cosmic guardian had taught him the importance of balance and collaboration. In a move that surprised many, Jack announced the formation of the Multiversal Ethics Committee, a diverse group of beings from across realities tasked with providing oversight and guidance for humanity's cosmic endeavors. Checks and balances. Harper introduces democratic principles to multiverse management. But even as Jack worked to establish a framework for responsible multiversal stewardship, a new and unprecedented challenge emerged. Strange anomalies began to appear across different realities, echoes of events that had never happened, shadows of possibilities that defied the laws of causality. Temporal tremors, past, present, and future collide in cosmic quandary. Jack and his team soon realized they were dealing with something beyond mere multiversal physics. The very nature of time itself seemed to be unraveling, presenting a puzzle that would push even Jack's superhuman intellect to its limits. Clockwork Cosmos. Can Earth's genius solve the ultimate time crisis? As Jack delved deeper into the mystery, he began to uncover hints of a greater design behind the temporal disturbances. It seemed that the multiverse itself might be alive in some sense, reacting to the unprecedented changes brought about by humanity's cosmic awakening. Sentient spacetime. Harper's revolutionary theory reshapes cosmic understanding. The implications were staggering. If the multiverse was indeed a form of vast, incomprehensible intelligence, then every action taken by Jack and his team could have consequences far beyond their understanding. The responsibility was enormous, but so was the potential for growth and discovery. As Jack stood before a holographic representation of the known multiverse, its swirling complexities reflecting in his eyes, he felt a sense of both awe and determination. The journey that had begun with a simple equation solved in secret had led him to the threshold of the greatest adventure imaginable. To infinity and beyond, Jack murmured, a smile tugging at his lips as he recognized the irony of quoting a children's movie character in this moment of cosmic significance. But perhaps that was fitting, for in unlocking the secrets of the multiverse, Jack Harper had not only elevated humanity to new heights of scientific understanding, he had also tapped into the boundless creativity and imagination that had always been humanity's greatest strength. As he prepared to take the next step into the unknown, Jack knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, the human spirit, with its unique blend of intellect, intuition, and indomitable will, would be the key to navigating the infinite possibilities of the cosmic tapestry. The janitor's journey continues. Harper leads humanity into uncharted cosmic waters. The headline flashed across the multiverse, a beacon of hope and a promise of adventures yet to come. For Jack Harper and humanity, the future remained gloriously unwritten, a canvas as vast and full of potential as the cosmos itself.